I want to show you how to go from this to this. Same room, same camera, completely different look. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I built it, step by step, one light at a time. So you can take whatever space you're filming in right now and make it look intentional. No massive budget, no studio, just knowing what to add, where to put it, and why. So let's build from scratch. Know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying. If you're new here, my name's Denz. I make videos about filming yourself and building a creative business. And this is probably up there as one of the questions that I get asked the most. How do you get your videos to look like that? Now, I did a setup video about 6 months ago, but this one's a little bit different. That was more focused on the art of talking head videos. This is more about the process, step by step, where it gets you from a flat, uninspiring frame to something that actually looks like you thought about it. Because that's the thing, this look didn't happen by accident. Every element in this frame is doing a specific job. And once I explain what each job is, you'll be able to replicate the principle with whatever you're using at home. So let's build it. So this is where we're starting. Same corner of the room, same camera position, ceiling light on, and nothing else placed. And I want to be clear, one decision has already been made here, and it's actually the most important one before a single light gets switched on, okay? I'm shooting into the corner of the room, not straight at a flat wall, but into the corner. And that matters more than most people realize, because a corner gives you two walls in the frame simultaneously, and two walls instantly create depth. Your eyes read the angle, register the space, and the image feels three-dimensional before you've done anything else. If you take nothing else from this video, before you touch a light, figure out the best corner in your room and point your camera at it. That alone will improve your frame. So that's the foundation. Corner locked in, ceiling light on, and we're ready to go. However, the light is doing nothing interesting. The background has no life and there's no atmosphere at all. And that's what we're gonna fix. 3 things: light, depth, and atmosphere. In that order. Let's do it. Step 1, key light. If you do nothing else from this video, do this. A proper key light is the single biggest upgrade you can make to any talking head setup. It transforms the quality of your image instantly. It shapes your face properly and it separates you from the background in a way that the ceiling light just physically cannot do. The light I'm using is the Amaran 100D. It's clean, it's powerful, and punchy without being too harsh, but the principle here applies to any LED panel. The light matters less than where you place it. Placement is everything. I'm positioning this at roughly a 45 degrees from my face, slightly above eye level and angled down. This creates shape. It lights one side of your face cleanly while letting the other side fall slightly into the shadows. This contrast is what makes your face look three-dimensional on camera rather than appearing flat. But what you want to avoid is putting the light directly in front of you at face height, because that will kill all the shadows and it flattens everything out. Now, it works in some circumstances, but it doesn't have the character I'm going for. I like my frame to feel a little moody, a little cinematic without doing too much. One more thing with the key light is distance matters. The further back the light, the harsher it gets. And the closer to the light source, the softer and more flattering it is. And that's step 1. Already, it's a completely different image. Let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is the background. Here's where most people stop. They get a key light, they're happy, and then they call it done. And fair enough, it's a big improvement, like we said, but what separates a good setup from a great one is what's happening behind you as well. Right now, my background is just 2 walls. Well, wall and kind of like a window, right? Clean but flat, not interesting, nothing pulling the eye. So here's what I do. I'm adding a second light using the Amaran 60XS, but I'm using it not to light me, I'm using it to light the background. And I've attached a spotlight modifier to it. And the spotlight creates this hard focused beam of light, and when you combine that beam with a gobos light, it creates like a textured surface. In my case, it's giving the impression of light spilling through the blinds onto the wall. The pattern of light and shadow adds texture and just a visual interest to the frame. Now, it's subtle, but it goes a long way. And the reason this works so well is it creates depth. Your eye naturally reads the layers in the frame. I'm in the foreground, the pattern is in the background, and it makes the image feel like it just has more dimension, like it was shot somewhere considered and not just in a random corner of a room. You don't need this exact setup, okay? Any hard light source, even a desk lamp aimed at a textured wall or a plant or a bookshelf will do something very similar. But the principle is give the background something visually interesting to be. Now, step 3 is atmosphere. This one is subtle. The light you can see just behind me is the Aputure MC. It's a small portable LED light that I'm using purely as an ambient source. It's not lighting me at all. Okay, it's just sitting there adding warmth and depth to the frame, a bit of character, a bit of mood, and just giving inviting vibes. The difference between having that and not having it is small, but it does something important that just ties everything together, and it makes the whole setup feel more like my world, a real world, and less like a set. Think of it like seasoning and cooking. You don't taste it on its own, but without it, something feels missing. And the times I've forgotten to turn that thing on, I felt it in my soul. And the key here is to keep the color temperature warmer than my main light, because that difference, that color contrast is what creates the richness in our image. Step 4 is our camera position. Now, you've got your lights placed. Now you need to make sure that the camera is seeing what you want it to see. I'm on a tripod as always. Stability is non-negotiable, okay? The tripod puts the lens at eye level, which is where it needs to be. Shooting slightly above is also fine, but if it's below eye level, try and avoid that, because it's just a bit unflattering and it kind of kills the background you've created, because you start to see the ceiling instead of the wall. So for framing, I'm using a medium shot, roughly from like my torso just above to the top of my head. Now this is the sweet spot. It's close enough to feel like a conversation and wide enough that you've got room to gesture without going out of the frame. Get your camera in position, check your frame, and then stop moving things. One of the most common mistakes I see people do is constantly adjusting mid setup. Get it close, then make micro adjustments and stop. You'll know when it's right because the frame will feel balanced. Now, if you want to learn more about different shot types and how to use them within storytelling, check out this video. I've also linked it in the description. Right, so this is where we started and this is where we ended up. Same room, same Sony camera. The only thing that's changed, the Amaran 100D key light placed at a 45-degree angle slightly above my face, and that's shaping the light and lifting me off the background. Then we've got the Amaran XS with a spotlight attachment that's aimed at the art print on the wall behind me, and that's giving texture, shadow and patterns and creating depth. Then we've got the Aputure MC lamp right behind me that's giving warm, ambient, cozy vibes, and it's just kind of sitting in the background and tying everything together. And lastly, we have camera at eye level, framed in a medium shot, angle to pick up both sides of the background simultaneously. That's 4 decisions, and that's the whole setup. Really, nothing complicated, nothing that requires a humongous budget, just understanding what each element is doing and then placing it with intention. And this is what I mean when I say the difference between a setup that looks amateur and one that looks professional. It's not just equipment, it's your decision. Okay, that was a lot. If you're building a setup and want somewhere to track everything, your gear, your content, your scheduling, your ideas, I built a Notion template called the Creators Command Center, and I use it to run my entire operation. The link is in the description. And if you're filming on your iPhone rather than the camera, I've got a full video on how to get the most out of it using the settings, the gear, the app, the lot, and I'll leave it right here. If you learned something or just enjoyed hanging out with me today, hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget, hyping the video goes a long way for small creators like me. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace and love every single time. Denz.